All right, we're here with Matt, Jared, Josh Folan, and Jessica Kaye. Matt and Josh have been on the website before. Jessica's new to the website, but she was on One Life to Live as Rebecca. You may recognize her from her straitjacket and her torturing by Powell. They've come together to film a movie called All God's Creatures. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on the story and who you all play?
Sure. The story was originally written by Josh, and it is a story of a prostitute and a serial killer. It's a romantic comedy thriller hybrid, and that's the basic premise. Fall in love, consummate their love by killing her stepfather.
Yeah, Jessica's playing Delia. She's playing the prostitute. I play John, the serial killer. Yeah, I mean, it's we were trying to bring together two genres that aren't normally meshed together in the romantic comedy aspects and other sort of gross stuff. So.
I don't. I mean, Delia happens to be a prostitute, but I don't think of her as like the prostitute. What's exciting about the character in the script is that there's a long, there's a big character there and a huge backstory and things are going on. So she's, for me, more like a young girl who has to run away from a troubled home and make good of her life and ends up falling in love with a interesting person.
A very interesting person, yeah. Yeah, John. I mean, John also comes from a troubled background, as you would think any serial killer probably would. And with both the characters, there's kind of this lost innocence nature to them. And when they find each other, that's kind of why they click, because they were robbed of their childhood and all the things that teenagers learn about love and what have you. And when they find each other, it's kind of an opportunity for them to experience that together. That's where the love, I imagine, comes out of.
Did doing the soap role prepare you at all for this part, or is this a little bit harder because the hours are a little longer, or was one harder than the other?
They're completely different challenges, I would say. But the soap did teach me a lot about being very quick on your feet, just because it's such a fast process, and often one takes, and I just had to learn to just be there and go, and that was really helpful and really fun, actually. So that's definitely helped me in my subsequent film work where there's more time, to really get into scenes and get into characters and things.
And what about you? I know you play the serial killer.
Right. Well, I mean, this is kind of, I play a lot of, I guess, John's hard aspects. I played a lot of roles that kind of mirror that, but one of the interesting things about this character is there's a lot of moments of weakness for him, and Delia kind of highlights those because she is such a strong-willed character. So that was kind of one of the fun things about doing this. It's allowed me to play do a lot of things that I know they don't do that are kind of a little more, what do we call it? Prone. He's kind of like, you see more of a weakness in me than most of us play, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
And now, Matt, you play Matt the bartender, which is a role you also played on As the World Turns.
Frank the bartender.
Oh, Frank. I'm sorry, Frank the bartender.
Sorry.
Which you did play on As the World Turns.
I played Matt the bartender on One Life.
Right.
Frank the bartender, I thought. That's why.
That's As the World Turns.
So now are you the same Frank the bartender from As the World Turns, or are you a different
Frank?
Frank?
So when I was writing it and I had this bartender role, I called him. When I wrote the scene, I called him. I was like, Matt, I wrote you in literally as Frank the bartender.
So is Frank going to spin off somewhere else now? He was in Oakdale, now he's in All God's Creatures?
Absolutely. That's what the sequel is going to be about, the whole bartender sort of aspect of it. John and him end up coming together, and they make their own coffee shop / bar, which is just a place to lure in.
Lure in unsuspecting.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's a sequel, and
Now,
very much in a developmental stage, by no means.
And now, Jessica, after this film, what's next for you?
I don't have a specific project. I actually might be going to film school, but things are up in the air.
Josh?
Well, Matt and I have a lot of. This is our first feature film venture together. We have a lot of things that we're working on. There's a couple films that we're looking at for later this summer. A horror film that Matt actually wrote that we're looking at potentially shooting in South Carolina. And there's another script that we're looking at optioning from a guy I used to work with that we'd like to shoot in California potentially as well. So we're kind of got to finish this, maybe, one thing or the other, but a couple ideas for things in the fire.
All right, and where can the fans find information about the movie?
allgodscreaturesfilm.com. That's the direct website. We got a 30-second teaser up there right now, which isn't necessarily, doesn't encapsulate the film itself, but it's just to sort of get you started. I think the IMDb page as well. So,
Facebook, Twitter, it's all on there as well.
all the various media outlets.
All right.
Movieset.com, Colin, love that.
Yeah, movieset.com.
All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bryan.
Take care.